Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome to our weekly sessions of Instagram Lives for Women's History Month, where we will be featuring Muslim women in leadership. And today we have the honor of bringing along a very special guest whom you will see soon. So I will be bringing my co-host Ahmed Susi in, and let's see. Oh, and I see you.
Salaakum, how's everybody doing?
Hey Ahmed, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good, alhamdulillah. I see that we have our special guest joined, so I'm going to be bringing her up.
Sorry about that. Just had to put the links in.
You're all good. Let's see if this works.
Salaakum, sister.
Walaikum salam. Hi, everybody. Thank you.
It's so good to see you, to have you with us.
Same. I'm just turning up my volume a bit. There we go.
How are you doing today, Sister Christine?
It's Monday, alhamdulillah. So busy as always, but fantastic.
Definitely.
Well, we're so excited to have you here with us. We're so glad that you could join in through Instagram Live. Hopefully it was easy getting through there.
It was simple, and I appreciate you guys inviting me to the show and all the things that you're doing. The initiative is amazing. Loving it.
Beautiful. So for all of our viewers, if you tuned in last week, we explained that we'll be having different highlights featuring Muslim women in leadership. And what better way to start than with the organization of CAIR and the phenomenal executive directors who are leading their own chapters. So today we have a special guest. I would like to just start off by having you introduce yourself a bit and tell us a bit about you.
Sure. So my name is obviously Christine Mohamed. I am the Executive Director for CAIR-Pittsburgh. I've had the honor and privilege to be a part of CAIR now for a little over 2 years. Worked very hard to get our chapter up and mobilized and continue to spread initiatives of empowerment and working on civil rights and promoting justice. It's fine. And I'm also a mother. I have 3 children and married and the whole kit and caboodle.
Mm-hmm.
So do a little bit of everything. But CAIR-Pittsburgh was definitely a different direction for me in my past careers. And I absolutely not just adore the CAIR family. I love the unity that happens between these chapters and working together for real change.
Mm-hmm.
It's phenomenal, and I've really enjoyed my time here over the last 2 years.
No, that sounds incredibly beautiful, and just hearing you explaining it, it gives me a familial sense, like this sense of community. It's not just an organization where people are just co-workers or whatnot. This sounds incredible.
Yes, the networking, the sharing of information and ideas and coming together for real change.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's such a powerful thing, and it is a resource that I want our whole community nationwide to know and understand and get behind that. So, you know, our children's children don't face some of this discriminatory or Islamophobia things that we do encounter. It's a reality. So
Absolutely. No, beautiful. So what made you want to become an executive director at CAIR?
was never on my radar. If I'm being perfectly honest with you, if you would have told me years ago that I was going to be in this position, I probably would have looked at you like you were absolutely out of your mind. I come from a marketing and advertising background of 20 plus years. And though I did enjoy helping my clients, you know, expand upon their own company and build up brand awareness and all those good things, it just wasn't as fulfilling for me. And at that time, I found myself doing a lot for my community as a whole, and speaking and teaching at Carnegie Mellon University as an Osher teacher to help teach the outside world a little bit about the beauty of Islam, what it is and what it isn't. And through that, I ended up looking for a new job, and a friend who was already working at CAIR, Sister Zora, told me, hey, we're looking for somebody, and you have all this great experience, and you've become like a leader in the community. You should try it. And I thought about it and prayed like nonstop. And here I am. I mean, I went to the interview, I learned more. I already knew about CAIR in Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I knew of the local outreach and what they were doing, and I was just like, wow, that's amazing. But when I went to the interview and learned more, because, you know, you start digging in before you go from one industry, which was marketing and advertising, completely over to a new industry of nonprofit. I really wanted to get my hands dirty and see, like, what is this organization all about? And I fell in love. I was like, please let me get this job. Ya Allah, open the door. I walked through it. Yeah. Open this door. Yeah. And it opened. And I've been blessed to take all the past experience, and I'm finding out that my marketing and advertising and graphic design and communicating and PR goes hands in glove. Definitely. With the nonprofit world. So it's been amazing. I never expected to be here. And so every day I do feel honored and blessed to even have the opportunity to speak to my community, to be a leader, to be out there and, you know, make change. Again, I'm so big about the change, but it starts with each one of us, definitely. Right? And together. But yeah, I never saw myself here. And now I think you guys are stuck with me, at least for a while, because yeah, I'm kind of hooked, you know, so.
That's great to hear. Well, first of all, I want to give you credit because, you know, whenever I hear about like the CAIR chapters in the North, I'm like, it's too cold to do CAIR-Pittsburgh, you know, CAIR, any of there. In Arizona, it's 60 degrees. We say it's cold. So I can't even imagine what it feels like over there.
Born and raised in Pittsburgh for most of my life, in the middle of a blizzard. My mother is running to the Trinity Hospital to have me, so I'm used to that. But my stepfather was actually a veteran and in the military. Okay. So I did have the opportunity to go outside of Pittsburgh and live in different places and see how culture and different people and expanded my, you know, awareness of other people. And then we came back to Pittsburgh, but I'm a December baby. Love the snow, especially when I don't have to travel in it. So I'm used to the cold.
Nice, nice. Well, that's a great segue to our next question. And what would you tell your younger self about this work?
I think I would tell my younger self that this work is hard, but it's worth it.
Definitely.
And one of the things I definitely would have told my younger self is not to put so much on the validation from other people, and just to realize that their perspective of me, or even the work that our organization does, is just their perspective. It's not my reality. So be bold, stand up, talk, speak, live your truth, and be who you are. I was bullied when I was in school, severely, mainly because we were traveling to different places throughout the nation. You know, I mean, my senior year, I was in Virginia, and then just as I started my senior year, I had to move back to Pittsburgh. So it was like constantly having to go into a new environment, meet new people, and adapt, right? So I had to learn to be very adaptable. But in that sense of being adaptable, I would sacrifice myself just because I wanted to fit in. I wanted people to like me. And if that meant I had to be a little bit quieter about my feelings and maybe not take a risk or maybe not assert myself, I did those things. And now that I'm older and I have my own children and I'm watching them grow, I'm like, go for everything. Anything and everything, go for it. Be who you are. Don't worry about if you can't please everybody, and don't let the vindication or validation of another human being make you feel like you're not worthy, because you are worthy and you are good enough. So step up to the plate, thicken up your skin, and go be a warrior. Go and help those who are minorities, those who are struggling, because I know what that feels like, and it's an ugly place. And if I can do something to ignite passion in somebody else or motivate them or empower them, absolutely. And so I would definitely tell my younger self, don't hold so much on to the thoughts of what others think of you. Be yourself and be bold about it and go for it, because I probably would have been here earlier if I would have done those things. Wow. But
that's a mic drop. That's how good that was. That's a mic drop.
That was beautiful. If you saw me, like, I was just typing down some things you were saying, because I'm like, I'm gonna write this in my journal and read it every day and remind myself of this. Beautiful.
I remind so I have a 21-year-old and an 18-year-old, and they are all they're full of passion. I have an 11-year-old who tells me he will be the president of the United States.
Oh,
Let's go. Let's do it.
I know he's so passionate about it, but in that whole thing, that is the one thing I tell them is that, you know, somebody else's perception of you is not your reality.
Yes.
And to stay strong.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. That was honestly incredible. I can definitely see that, mashallah, you're someone who is very passionate and just very intentional about the way that you want to live your life and the way that you want to also empower others to live theirs, which is, yani, mashallah, something that younger generation can look up to and really feel empowered by. And especially as a woman, I think it's so important for younger generations to see role models where it's like we are in spaces where traditionally women were not seen in, and we're not just taking up space, but we are thriving and leading these spaces. So mashallah, that was just really beautiful.
Thank you. I agree 100%, definitely.
So my next question to you would be, where would you want to see your chapter in 5 years?
For CAIR-Pittsburgh, we are actually a very small chapter. I am the jack of all trades for CAIR-Pittsburgh. I would love, we have been, you know, going on brand awareness and expanding our reach to the community. And so I'm hoping in the next 5 years to build upon that, and then hopefully, you know, bring in some more staff and have us expand that way so we can get down to the nitty gritty of the work and really, you know, kick the ball along, as they say. Because when you have a team of people that are passionate about the same thing and you're working on initiatives and you're able to do that back and forth thinking and cultivating ideas and working with other organizations, it really does allow you to expand yourself a little further. So for CAIR-Pittsburgh, I'm really focusing on, you know, fundraising, getting our name out there more so we're more of a household name. Mm-hmm. And then from there, I would love to expand our office so we can go out and do more work.
Beautiful. May Allah make it easy on you to make all that cut.
Inshallah.
So I just put the link in for CAIR-Pittsburgh to donate. There's also the CAIR-Arizona. So those who are watching later, as you all know, CAIR-Arizona is funded through the community. So, you know, definitely help and support, build these chapters. So yeah, I have that there for you guys. The next, of course, the next question I wanted to talk about, since this is Women's History Month, is how can we get more women in leadership in Muslim organizations?
I think that's a loaded question. But I do think, you know, empowering our sisters in the community, giving them the tools and the resources. You know, when you're a leader, and I'm a very firm believer of this, when you're a leader, you have to get down with the people and help. Mm-hmm. You cannot just sit back and allow these things and expect people to come together and just go on their way with their passion. So for me, it's so important to give the tools and the resources. Like we started a program, Muslima Mornings, which is particularly for Muslim women. And we talk about everything under the sun. I mean, things that may be weighing heavy on your heart, you know, with the stuff going around the world right now, Ukraine and Russia and all those other aspects. And in the community, different hardships that are going on, how to deal with that. But it's also giving women the opportunity to feel validated and to take what they're passionate in and on and tell them, well, you can be more active by doing this. And so it's cultivating opportunity and helping to make confident, safe spaces where, you know, our women, our sisters, they can feel empowered to go ahead and go out there and do it. I mean, when I first started speaking, I needed mentorship, because I was petrified. What do you mean I'm going to speak in front of a bunch of people? There's no way. And then I found myself speaking at the Women's March for Pittsburgh.
That's awesome.
And
wow.
Thank you. That was thousands and thousands of people. And I just remember thinking, oh my God, I cannot do this. But I had amazing women leaders and mentors that, you know, helped me along that way, that gave me the strength and the courage. Just needed that little kick in the butt to get up there and fulfill that role in front of me. So I definitely think to get our sisters more involved is giving them the resources and the tools. So as a leader, I feel like it's part of my responsibility to be open to mentor sisters or give them suggestions and help them and find opportunities you know, within CAIR, that they can go and get their feet wet and see what they like. I mean, they may come to a protest and be like, and then at the end of the protest, they're like, I love it. Whenever you have another one, let me know. Or you do a writing campaign or a petition about something and you see it through and they feel empowered because it actually did work, and then they want to do more. So I think it's just really cultivating those opportunities and being a resource of empowerment for the community that will help with that.
What I love about that is it's like you're 100% right. Being a leader is about making sure that that people below you in the next generation have, you know, the same opportunities. And that's a lot of the work that we do here at CAIR. It's trying to, you know, advance civil rights, right? We were given rights, you know, from past activists. We need to make sure we're leaving a better place. So I love that. And I also want to give you props again for being in a smaller chapter. I know how hard it is to, you know, have to carry all that weight. So, and I mean, you've been killing it. So, you know, definitely props for doing that.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's a lot of work, but when you have a goal and you just focus on it, you know, it's not as difficult. My mother used to tell me, don't say it's hard work because then it will be hard. Just say you're going to do the good work and get it done. It's all about your mindset and where you're at in this world. And that has been like a huge advice, because when I go, and being the only one, there is a lot on my plate sometimes, and it can feel overwhelming at times. But I think of that, you know, it doesn't have to be hard. Let's make it good. And I just kind of change my mindset to help me get through those difficult patches.
That's beautiful, honestly. And I think just that will also help cultivate the kind of environment that will help the people around you feel refreshed and inspired as well. So that just sounds incredible.
Right. And part of that empowerment is giving people the ability, when they see something isn't right, like if they're with their employer, they want to go pray, or they're asking for a special schedule change, maybe for Ramadan or something like this, that they know it's okay to ask. And they have their power and strength within them to go ahead and say, hey, I know my rights. I know what I need. This is what it is. So.
No, absolutely. And that just sounds like a healthy kind of environment where you're feeling like you're really able to show up as how you are and communicate effectively with one another. So
yeah, because when we sacrifice ourselves, it's more than just us that we hurt. We also hurt our community, because we are all blessed with gifts and talents that make us uniquely us. And those gifts and talents come together to make a beautiful picture of unity for everybody to work together. So
absolutely. Beautifully said.
Thank you.
So my next question to you would be, what is your experience like living as a visibly Muslim woman in Pennsylvania?
Ups and downs. So, you know, there are pockets of Pittsburgh and even Pennsylvania that, you know, there are pockets of Islamophobia. I mean, none of us are immune to it. I've experienced Islamophobia, but on the swing side of that, I've also have experienced an embrace from our community leaders and other organizations. You know, they want to be a part of, you know, the Muslim organizations. They actually do want to learn. They want to build those bridges. And so it's great, because when you have allies helping you tackle such a thing like Islamophobia, and they stand up too, then those people aren't as necessarily as bold to, you know, do something ugly in a public space, because they know they'll be held accountable.
Absolutely.
So there are some areas in Pittsburgh that, you know, I watch very carefully when I'm going through, or, you know, hope nobody says anything to you. I've experienced it. And I've seen my children's reaction to mom experiencing Islamophobia. And all it does, honestly, is motivate me to be out more and show this is what Islam is. I try to be the best I can, but let me show you a different side. It makes me want to go out more and change their perspective. So
that's the good work. That's the good work.
Turning it into motivation, you know, instead of letting it break you down, really using it as a way to fuel your determination to change the perception. That's incredible.
Yeah, it just puts fuel in the fire for me. So
we wanted to ask you some lighthearted and, you know, fun questions. This first one is going to be, who's the most influential woman that you know?
I have so many friends that inspire me, my close network, but I would have to say one of the sisters that's truly been an inspiration for me as of late is my good friend Ebdi Hall Bedoui. She started an initiative in Pittsburgh called Pittsburgh Builds Bridges. And her passion and determination it is so inspiring. And she has such an amazing mindset that she says, you know, what else is possible? What else is possible? And I can't tell you, like, just even being around her, I feel like, yeah, what else is possible?
Yeah.
What can I do?
Yeah.
You know, like we have a call once in a while in the mornings, we'll have these chats and she's telling me about all the amazing things and the people she's connecting with. And I watch her initiative growing here in Pittsburgh, and I'm seeing her paintings and other people contacting her. And even when a door closes, she'll kick it open. Like, she just really doesn't give up. And she's like, I'm obsessed. And like, you're not obsessed, you're passionate. And it's so, it has such a form on my life and the way I choose to live, because I see her doing it. She's visibly Muslim. She's out there making connections, building bridges, tackling bullying. And I'm just like, she makes me want to do more and work harder in my own capacity to make the world a better place. So she's definitely would have to be the most influential person in my life right now. Absolutely, hands down.
Sounds absolutely incredible. I think it's so important to surround yourself with a circle of women who empower you and motivate you and just inspire you in your own friendship group.
Yeah, because I mean, you do pick up the traits and the things of the people who are closest to you, right? We're like-minded. So yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, if she has a page or if there's any way that we can get in contact with her, I would love to hear more about her and her work. And she just sounds amazing from you.
She will blow you away. She went down to the arena this weekend and ended up painting with Olympians from Canada and the US for her piece.
That's
and she wants to go nationwide. So I'll have her get in touch with you guys, because hey, Arizona builds bridges too, right? Unity and inclusion. So hey, it works for everyone. But yeah.
So our next question is, what do you think are some of the biggest challenges that women face today? It's not as lighthearted as the one before it, but.
Yeah, I actually think one of the biggest challenges for women today is ourselves.
Oh.
I really feel that we as women can get in our own way. We can choose to judge each other, or we can choose to work together, uplift and empower, or tear people down. And I think because women have just been fighting so hard to get where we are and to get into those spaces, that sometimes that fight, we're fighting each other or fighting ourselves. We're putting up our own roadblocks, you know, or stopping ourselves short, or thinking, no, I really shouldn't be, you know, out there. I really shouldn't be doing this. And we talk ourselves out of it when we should really just, no, I do have the right to be here. And yes, I am going to speak and I'm going to do that. I think that's one of the biggest challenges, is actually us getting out of our own way and being more supportive to each and every woman that wants to take that leadership role or make a difference. So I think women supporting each other more and just not taking no for an answer. I mean, because we already know we can do amazing things together. So let's just keep moving forward. Of course, there's issues within society, right? Like women should be doing this and not that. Block all of that out, and let's just, you know, and don't compare yourself. I see a lot of women, you know, one of the things that we do is we'll compare each other, right? Don't do that, because you are uniquely yours and you're special in your own way. If you compare yourself to another woman, then it gets to that like dark, petty kind of place. And again, getting back in your own way. So I feel like if we could build upon those things, a lot of our challenges would kind of dwindle to the side, because we would be a powerhouse of unity, working towards common good. And yeah, I remember even like in high school, college, you know, women, it's catty, it can be all over the place. And I've really changed that to like, no, I want to hold my sisters up. And I make that a choice every day. Because I am human and I have bad days, you know, just like everybody else. But I'm going to move out of my own way and do the good. Yes, so that's what I would say the biggest challenge is.
No, I'm in complete agreement. I think one thing that my friends and I talk a lot about is how, as women, there's a lot of misogyny that we need to unlearn ourselves that we've taken in from society around us. And it's definitely
exactly, you get it.
Yes, absolutely.
Exactly.
One of the questions that I wanted to talk about is we talked about this challenge, but how might these challenges change in the next 10 years when we look to the future for, you know, women?
Well, technically, I don't think we have to wait 10 years. I honestly feel like if we come together, we could start tomorrow, right? It's baby steps on a long journey. That's a continuing process, because we're not done in 10 years because it'll be something else,
Yeah.
right? So I feel like, you know, some of those challenges will be, you know, women saying no to misogyny and speaking up for our rights and making those, you know, the necessary steps that need to happen. But we need to start that tomorrow. We need to start that today and wake up every morning and work towards that. And at the end of 10 years, our work still isn't done. We will be having this conversation and you'll be saying, what do the next 10 years look like? But I think it really has to start within each one of us and taking that baby step each and every day. But I mean, my daughter's going into the university, hopefully next year. She graduates high school. And I want her to feel confident that she can go and do what she needs to do.
Definitely.
So
what I love about your energy is it's to always talk, like I said, bringing those, you know, after you the same place where you're at, and it's putting that hand and making sure. So yeah, no, I definitely love that. If I were able to handle the cold, I might have to visit Pittsburgh.
You can come anytime you want, brother. Don't tell anybody. Always need the help.
So for our last question, if you could have dinner with any woman, present or history, who would it be?
Actually, to answer this question, I'm going to be 100% honest. If I could have dinner with one person, it would be my mother. She passed away 4 years ago, and she hasn't seen the amazing change that has happened in my life. And she has been she was such an inspiration to me. And my grandmother, they passed away 12 hours from each other during Ramadan 4 years ago. And they were such a huge influence on the woman that I have become. And my mom knew before she passed away that I was like at the point of, I think I want to go into something more fulfilling. It's going to be a lot harder. It's going to be a lot of, that's when she would remind me about the hard work. But I would just adore the opportunity if I could have dinner with her one more time with all the accomplishments and things that have happened over the last 4 years. Just to see her face, just to hear what she would say. I mean, I kind of know what she would say. She would be like, keep killing it.
Definitely.
You keep going. Definitely. Don't you stop, you know. But I would really, that would be the person out of everybody that I would want to have dinner with would be my mom.
That's a great choice.
Thank you. Plus, she would probably knock me out if I didn't pick her. Right? So.
No, honestly, I just want to say, mashallah, you have such a beautiful and radiant energy and just very enthusiastic and empowering. Like, I'm just, even though this conversation has only been, what, 20, 30 minutes, but I'm definitely left feeling so inspired and empowered and just really glad that we had this opportunity to get to know one another and really speak with one another. And hopefully it's only the first of many to come. You now have a family, friends here in Arizona. So, you know, definitely if we ever make it out there, I'll make sure I know who to call now.
Yeah, absolutely. Give me a call anytime. And who knows, maybe I have a friend, my best friend lives out in Arizona, Nadine. So if I come out there, you know, I'll definitely have to swing on by and say hi.
You definitely have to. That would be absolutely amazing.
It would be great. But, you know, inspiring and motivating people, I love doing that. Watching people, you know, in their own success and get to a point where they're happy with themselves and they've changed their outlook and they've learned to love themselves and see the beauty within them. I'm all about it. All about it. I will be in that space. If you're looking for me, I'm in that space. So
thank you so much, Sister Christine.
Thank you so much. It's been an honor. You're doing amazing things. Keep doing the hard work. Keep paving the pavement. I mean, pounding the pavement. You will get there.
Thank you.
You will. You guys are doing amazing things. And I'm so honored to be a part of CAIR and working with you guys in Arizona. It's amazing.
Likewise.
Thank you for everything.
Likewise. And inshallah, we'll speak soon and have more of these beautiful conversations to come.
Absolutely.
Have a beautiful
Thank you,
rest
guys.
of your day.
You too, guys. Have a productive day.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.